All right, boys, we're back with another video. So it is Friday, which means we are going to be doing a weekly recap. You guys seem to love these videos, and yeah, I think they are very, very, very informational and a lot of sauce to be gained. So I'm going to go over every single trade that I took this week and why I took it. So let's start with Monday. So going into the day on Monday, I told my Discord, my VIP community, that we don't have too many clear draws besides these highs and these lows, right? So I was preferably going to be bearish on the day because we were reacting out of a 4-hour. I wanted to see these lows, but obviously we ended up ripping off of open. And then once we started ripping, I realized we actually had this draw as well, an untapped hourly gap. So that was another good draw on liquidity. So what I saw off open is that we got crazy expansion higher. In my opinion, that kind of just tells me that the day is gonna be bullish. Simple as that. Just like when we're getting this clean legs higher, I'm just like, I'm trying to take a long here. So I'm looking, okay, what do we have to target? We have an untapped hourly gap. Okay, great. Do we have a retracement? Yes, we do. Nice retracement, put in some nice wicks. Do we have confirmation of the retrace that we're going to continue bullish on the day? Yes, right here. So boom, this is my trade. 1-to-1, and it hit in a minute. Literally like 30 seconds, boom, 3.5K on the day. Or no, like 2K on the day, I think this was. So yeah, banger trade. I know you might be looking at this and thinking, oh, well, the flip is not stronger than the retrace. Guys, this is kind of where you need to use. You can't be, a pattern trader because pattern trading will cook you because you won't be able to take wins like this. You have to use your own discretion and apply it. You can't be just trading a pattern of, oh, stronger than the flip. Like, I know most of the time, yes. For one, this is not a weak flip. It's not strong, but it's not weak, right? For the other thing is that, like I said, the day was extremely, extremely obviously bullish. Look at this candle. Look at this 5-minute close. You think we're really going to close up here and then go all the way down? Like, no, right? Once we fill this 5-minute gap, I'm not expecting it to get inversed. And that's exactly what ended up happening. We confirmed that we weren't inversing it, and we're going to continue the bullish trend on the day. So very simple trade. Not much to go over there. Took it on my alphas, not my top step. I probably should take it on my top steps though. So that was Monday. Okay, so boom, that's a W on Monday. Now let's go to Tuesday. Start new. Okay, I'm just gonna go here. So Tuesday was, I think, going. All right, wait. I might gotta juice one more time. Start new. All right, yeah. So so Tuesday was simple. We had an 8:30 news candle, so we had data lows as pretty much the only draw on liquidity, and this was an L. Yeah, I ended up taking an L on this on the day. The trade was simply based because so first we had data lows, so I was super confident in data lows, and then I took a bad trade. This was a bad trade, straight up. I took a trade like right here. Obviously, this is not a good trade. Reason this is not like we get a retrace and then immediate flip. So I thought, okay, we're gonna now go lower. And this is also literally like right off market open, like the minute after. So really risky trade. Definitely too aggressive. I mean, yes, data lows are strong, but I cannot be taking trades this aggressive. Straight up, just a terrible trade. Also because we took out these lows, filled a 15-minute gap right here, and we just rejected it. We threw bullish wicks, so it's a bad sign. If we close down here and then retrace, that's a different story. But we kind of wicked it and had a bullish reaction out of it, so kind of a bad sign. And I would have wanted to see, honestly, like ideally, like we get like a move up here, take out these highs, like we almost did, and then strong flip, like get some confirming legs that we're actually going to go lower, and then a retrace and a flip to take to the draw, right? That's what I would have wanted to see, not this bullshit, right? Something like this instead of, because like it's going to be hard for us. I need to see confirmation past this internal low, and then a reach. Like this also would have been a good case scenario, and then a retrace here and a flip, and boom, that's the trade, right? But we did not close down here, so yeah, definitely needed more confirmation. Terrible freaking trade, and it was an L. So boom, L, not the biggest loss, not the end of the world. So that was pretty much all there was, and then I don't think there was any other opportunity. Yeah, no other opportunity on this day. Maybe you're gonna short here because it's data lows, but not a good trade. Kind of get chopped up, and it's pretty even. So that was Tuesday. Now let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay. Yes. Wednesday was a freaking banger day, literally. So coming into the day, this is where we were. We were reacting out of this hourly gap, super obviously bearish on the market. Like the market was just bearish, right? Super clean legs lower, retracement to this hourly gap. I was expecting this gap to hold and push price lower to all of these amazing draws on liquidity. Okay, so super clean draws, clean conditions, everything looks freaking beautiful. But I took two trades. What I saw, we actually had 8:30 news. It was PPI. So this right here is a data high. Off open, we get legs lower, take out these lows, and then we get extremely aggressive flip higher. Boom, I take a long right here, targeting the data highs because data highs are extremely strong. And this is extremely confirming, right? So that was my entry, and unfortunately, this was just simply a break-even trade, right? I went break-even at these internal highs, and it got pretty close, but it was a break-even, unfortunately. This is a extremely A+ trade. I don't know why it didn't hit, but it doesn't matter. We ended up flipping lower, and then boom. After we had this candle, it showed me that we're rejecting this area. We're definitely not going to be bullish on the day, and we're going to continue the higher time frame trend lower, right? So I took this only on my alpha accounts because it's a bit aggressive. So it was basically after we had this close reaction out of this 1 minute, and then a little bit more confirmation. Boom, that was my entry, and I took it on my alpha accounts, not my top step, because it is a bit more aggressive. But if you look at the 5 minute also, like that was also the 5 minute close. So pretty bearish close, and it looks again like the higher time frame is going to continue us to these lows. Super obvious that the day was bearish, especially after this flip, right? This candle right here. So yep, this trade played out on my alpha. So boom, that's already 2 trades taken on the day. 1 break even, 1 W, but it doesn't stop there. Now I'm looking at shorts because we still have some good draws intact, right? So we take this draw, okay? And we still have this, boom, and this, right? A bunch of good draws. Still have amazing draws on liquidity. So I'm still extremely bearish. What do I see? I see us get a retracement up into this 15-minute gap. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this as my condition. If this holds, then I'm going to be bearish, right? Very simple. So we fill the gap, and we started to get very aggressive legs down, and that was all I needed. That was all the confirmation that I needed to go short, especially because there was 10 a.m. news. Boom. Data lows. Another set of data lows. So we have data lows and then 2 set of hourly or 4-hour lows right next to each other. So a big stack of draws and liquidity just looking so juicy. So once I saw these confirmation legs out of the 15-minute gap, I was extremely confident that we were going to go lower to data lows and to these stack lows. So I took this on my top steps, and this was, I think, my biggest day ever. It was 7.2K on the day. So yeah, amazing day. And I also saw this 5-minute close look good as well. Everything here looks beautiful, right? Drawings. So yeah, that was my Wednesday, and then Thursday. Hello. Thursday. Oh yeah, Thursday was a freaking terrible trading day. We had nothing, bro. Like genuinely, like we had this draw and this draw coming to the day, right? Because this is where we were, and we kind of literally did nothing. Like I don't even know. I don't even know if there's anything to recap here. Like straight up, unfortunately, this was the trading day, bro. But I think there was something. Shit, never mind. I'm an idiot. There was a good trade. So we had a retrace and we filled a 15-minute gap down here, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We were wicking something and then we had a 5-minute closure right here. Oh, I actually took a trade on this. What am I talking about? We had a 5-minute close and we had a 5-minute IFEG out of this wick right here. So 5-minute looked super bullish and I was pretty confident in longs after we had this bullish wick and then this really bullish 5-minute close to target the higher time frame targets because the higher time frame did look very clear and obvious to these highs. That was the trade that I took, and it was a break-even trade because I just simply went break-even here. And yeah, that was the day. I think like I ended up going break-even on my top steps, and then I switched over my alphas, and I couldn't switch right away because like my teacher called on me. So I ended up like you could see right hits my break-even and immediately dumps. So I'm break-even on top steps, boom, I'm out there. But now my alphas, I went to the tab and they were in drawdown, so I was just like waiting for it to come back to my entry so I can get out, and it literally got 2 ticks away. And then it hit my stop loss. But obviously this is not like a losing day because this is my break even. Like that's where I wanted to go break even, but I couldn't do it in time because I had to switch tabs, and my teacher was like annoying me in the middle of the class, right? So that was pretty impossible. But yeah, not a losing day, just a break even. It just hit stop on the alphas, which again, don't really care about my alpha accounts that much. They're kind of more aggressive. Trade them more aggressively. Plus, that wasn't even a losing trade. Like I went over. My throat. So yeah, that was Thursday. Now let's go into today. Coming into today, told my Discord I was leading heavily bullish towards all these highs. I don't even have to mark it out, right? Looks like a super bullish day. Ideally, we're just going to get longs. But what ends up happening is off open, we kind of get a little bit of a move higher. So it looked like we're going to go up, and then we completely flip lower. And we start getting aggressive legs down. And we had these lows and this untapped gap, right? Everything looks super clean for shorts. So we got a retracement into a 5-minute gap, and then just wanted to see any sort of solid confirmation, which we never ended up getting. But I was lucky an idiot because I don't know. I was like texting one of my friends, and I missed this trade, hesitated on it. Unfortunate, bro, because this is a good trade. So I know the confirmation here isn't amazing, right? It's pretty much the same as the retrace, if not even maybe worse. So I know it's not technically that perfect A+ pattern, but I'm not a pattern trader. This is an A+ trade simply because this prior movement is all the confirmation we need, right? When we have this crazy move down of like freaking 200 points, and then we get a good retracement, I'm expecting us to continue the trend, especially because we have extremely strong draws on liquidity lower. And there's really nothing else to it. I could have even, honestly, I was looking at it, I could have even just taken it off a limit at the 5-minute gap. And the reason I would have done this, and I probably could have, this 5-minute gap is the condition, right? If I were to like take a limit at the 5-minute gap, it would have been an entry here, targeting here, and I could play a deep stop loss, right? Like I literally play like a stop loss like this, right? For a 1-to-1. So look how protected my stop loss is. We'd have to invalidate these legs, pretty much saying that the draw is false, right? So I should have taken this honestly as well, simply because this trade is so based off logic, because I know that if this gap holds, my draw on liquidity is correct. If it doesn't hold, my draw on liquidity is wrong. So I'm taking this trade based off my draw, and that is it. All you need is a fill towards the draw on liquidity, because after we get these crazy legs lower, I'm very confident that our draw is lower. So I just need to get filled with a safe stop. So the only way I'm losing this trade is if my draw on liquidity is wrong, which in this case is extremely unlikely. And obviously the draw on liquidity was not wrong. The draw on liquidity was correct, right? So that's another entry. And this is an entry system that I've been looking at, and it makes a ton of sense. Just like limiting it at your condition, right? Because it allows you to take a trade with a much safer stop, meaning that the only way that I'd be losing this trade is if my draw on liquidity is wrong. And having the correct draw on liquidity is pretty easy, especially when we're getting legs like this. So this was another entry that I could have taken. And then again, this was a good entry. I just hesitated on it. So now, and then we did nothing else for the rest of the day. So yeah, that was today. Also learned a bit more about, just getting it filled towards the draw makes sense. I'm open to that now. I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it before, but now thinking about it, it makes so much sense because I'm literally only losing the trade if my draw on liquidity is wrong. And because I have a safe stop, my stop is at a point where if it goes there, my draw is wrong, right? That is why that entry system makes so much sense. But anyways, that is my entire week, guys. I took a lot of trades this week. I took a lot, right? So there's a lot to go over, but I hope you guys can understand my thought process throughout all the trades taken this week. If you guys want to work with me personally one-on-one, the link's in the description. If you want to join my free community or the paid community, where there's tons of sauce, obviously, that link, everything is in the description. So appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.